Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. I can hear you. I hope you can hear me. Everything seems to be okay. But it's been so long since I streamed. Who knows what the heck's going on? So, let's pull up my dashboard here. Sorry, I need to sort everything out. I can't get my second monitor working. Everything's gone to pot. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, let's see what's going on here. Everything looks healthy here. Everything looks healthy there. There's one person watching. Hello, one person. So yeah, I guess today we're going to take a look at... I'm going to try and do something new. I really, really, really love streaming, okay? And I really want to be streaming regularly. But there was a minor problem in as much as I couldn't stream because my MacBook had to go back into the Apple Store, which is a complete pain. So I tried to stream from my own MacBook, but I just couldn't get it to work. Every time I was plugging in the Elgato screen capture, it was just stopping the keyboard working. So yeah, we are where we are at this point. So this is my MacBook back from Apple. Thank you, Apple. If we go here, you'll see I've been frantically trying to get PHP installed and stuff before we actually run, because it came back completely wiped again, which is a complete pain. But there we are. It is what it is. So yeah, we're kind of getting there. And today I want to do a Try It Tuesday and look at what is new in Laravel 6. So Laravel, if you didn't know, have released a brand new version of the framework, and I'm kind of interested. There's a couple of things that have really interested me, and we'll go through them. We'll definitely go through them. I just want to quickly check that everything is actually running before we make any other move. Excuse me. Yeah, everything looks to be okay here. I think everything looks to be okay, at least. Yeah. Yeah, we look good. We do look good. Cool. So, yeah, the stream's running. People are watching. Nobody's speaking. But that, we can live with that. So, yeah. So, let's take a look then, I guess. Let's do this. Let's remember to show my screen. Hopefully you can see that okay. And hopefully I can see you and you can hear me. And if anyone wants to say hello, that would help me to know that things are actually working. I can't see chat. That's the problem. That's going to be a definite problem. We need to fix that. Okay, now I can see chat. It's been so long. I've completely forgotten what I need to do. Okay, can everybody see that? That's looking okay for me, I guess. It's a little bit dim, but I'm sure you can see it. So yeah, here we go. So yeah, we definitely not giving up on Codename Trapdoor. Codename Trapdoor is our card deck building game. As I say, the only reason we haven't made any more progress is because I've been, I've had no laptop essentially to stream on. So yeah, let's take a look. So I wanted to go through the release notes. I wanted to look at these in both reading the release notes and like in code. But let's just go through what the updates are first. So the version of this game, this is massive news right here. Laravel and its other first-party packages follow semantic versioning. Woohoo! Hooray! That's brilliant news. Like, one of the things I used to be vocally negative about with regards to Laravel was the fact that it didn't really stick to the standards that other people in PHP did. So moving over to Semver is a massive win. It's a huge win for me. That makes life so much easier. So semantic version means that major framework releases will now be full number increases. So the next major version of Laravel will be Laravel 7. Whereas in the past, the major versions have been point released. So 5.8 was a major version. 5.7 was a major version. Now, Laravel 6 is a major version. 6.1 will be a point release, which will be a minor release with maybe some added features. The patch releases will be the extra point. So 6.0.1 will be a patch release. And anything that isn't a major release, anything that doesn't increment the main number, the actual 6, 7, 8, 9, should not break backwards compatibility. So that's brilliant. This is an LTS release. That's great. So that means that this is going to be supported for 2 years and security will be supported for 3 years. So not all releases of Laravel are LTS releases. They don't guarantee to support all releases. This is one that will be an LTS. Some of the other cool stuff that's released. Let's take a look here. So Laravel Vapor, we'll come back to that because I really, really want to look at that today as well. Laravel Vapor looks super cool. Semver we've covered, which is really, really nice as well. Vapor we'll come back to. So Laravel Vapor is a way of running Laravel serverlessly out of the box. I'm super, super, super excited about this. I really want to take a look at that on today's stream. Improved exceptions via Ignition. We're definitely going to take a look at that right now. I mean, I'm going to install this version of Laravel and look at that out of the box. Because it's got, like, it replaces whoops as the error handler, this new Ignition. So let's open some of this stuff up in new tabs so that we know that we want to go and look at them. Again, this is kind of the way that I work. I know about the Samver stuff, which is fine. Improved authorization responses by Gary Green. Good job, Gary Green. Congratulations. In previous releases of Laravel, retrieve and expose custom authorization messages. So this isn't something I've really worked with. I'm sure other people will have worked with this. So this is to do with authorization. So you can, in Laravel, it has authorization built in. So in the view, you can say, oh, if this user doesn't have access to this flight using the ACL, then deny access to this resource. So it's an authorization policy, which lots of frameworks have in there. You know, Symfony bundles with that, Expressive, all these good stuff. Laminas, not Zen framework anymore, bundles with it. So that's really good. So I think this is just being able to pull the response back out later on in the application's life cycle. I'm not going to take too much of a look at this stuff. Really, it's going to be the Vapor stuff and the Ignition stuff we have a good look at, but we'll figure it out. So these custom messages will automatically return to your front end when using messages such as this authorize or gate authorize. So I'm guessing you can now specify the reason for denial and it'll surface in various places. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to me, I think. I worry that I can't see chat. Or is nobody speaking? If anyone could just like post something quite quickly in chat just so that I can be sure that I can see chat, or do I need to refresh this? Because I'm worried that people are saying stuff and it's not actually showing in my chat window. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Either nobody's speaking or I can't read chat. One of the two. Let's try this. Hello, world. Oh, okay. So at least I can see my own chat. So that's fine. It's just some quiet people watching. That's totally fine. So job middleware. This is interesting. So middleware's been around forever in Laravel. It's been one of my favorite parts of the framework design. And job middleware allows you to wrap custom logic around the execution of queue jobs. So it effectively removes boilerplate. I'm not going to go too far into that. It doesn't really give anything new. It just gives you a new way of doing stuff you've been able to do before. So that's okay. That's cool. This next one I really like, though, lazy collections. So congratulations to Joseph Silver, who's had lazy collections implemented. So collections in Laravel are really cool. And we've been using collections in our codename trapdoor. github.com don't open that trapdoor. So we've been using collections a lot to build a deck in the game that we're writing, which I really like. I really enjoy the collections, except I don't know where it's been so long I can't remember where we were defining this stuff, but collections have been super cool. But what lazy collections do is it means that collections can now use generators instead of having to load whole result sets into collections, which is a pain in the ass, right? Because if you've got 10,000 records in the database and you want to load all of them in to filter through them, you essentially have to hydrate every single object and load every object into the collection, which can be a memory nightmare. So lazy collections allow you to use generators, which means you can chunk the data. You can only load whatever data into memory that you actually need. So here's a perfect example. You need to iterate through 10,000 eloquent models. When you're using traditional collections, all 10,000 models will be loaded into memory. But in Laravel 6, the query builder's cursor method updates to use generators and a lazy collection, which means it only ever hydrates one object at a time. It only ever keeps one element of that collection in memory at any time, which should reduce memory usage on large data sets where you're iterating over collections. It should really massively reduce the amount of memory being used by collections. So that's really cool. And then we got the eloquent subquery enhancements by Jonathan Rainink. I should know how to say that, Jonathan. Sorry. Feel free to tweet at me how to pronounce it. I do apologize. This is really cool. It's not something I use. It just means that you can add subqueries to queries to produce more complicated SQL queries using Eloquent. We may take a look at that if we've got time. I'm just conscious of time today, and I'm so excited about some of the other stuff. The other stuff, the front-end scaffolding has been pulled into its own package, and the authentication stuff has been pulled into its own package. Sensible stuff there means that they can modify the UI without having to do a full release of Laravel, which I guess is going to be really useful. Yeah, splitting stuff out is always a bonus for me, especially in a huge monolithic framework like Laravel. Makes total sense to me. So this all good. So let's take a look at it, I guess. We need to install it. So I don't think I have anything here. In fact, I've got a feeling I've got the wrong version of PHP running. Oh no, I thought I just installed 7.3, but I didn't. Let's get rid of PHP. I did install it. So which PHP is this? Here we go. A hint behind the curtain. User bin PHP. Okay. It's so long since I've done this. Any help in chat to get my PHP version up to date would be massively valuable. Do I need to tell... Okay, brew, install, PHP at 7.3, right? Hopefully that works. I got Homebrew installed at least, which is something I can't live without, so hopefully this works. Here we go. Let's get our PHP. I mean, I can install Laravel while I'm waiting here, right? I don't have Composer installed though. This is the joys of a new laptop. Get composer.org. And there we see the conductor. And download. I want to download this globally, by the way. Isn't there a way you can download globally? Could have sworn there was. We just want to do that. And how do we install it? Oh, I can't remember. Documentation. I'm sure there's a way that you can install this globally. Install Composer globally. Google is our friend. Oh, DigitalOcean. It's nice to see. Oh no, I don't want to. So what is it actually doing? Oh, it's just moving it to use a local bin. Can I install it using Brew? I know this is like really weird. I've never tried it before, but maybe it'll work. Like that would be a really nice thing to be able to do. Oh, you can do that. Wow. That's so cool. I've never tried that before. Right, note to self. You can install Composer using Brew. That's kind of handy. I still have 7.1. Why is that? Why is it... which PHP? User local bin PHP. Why is it there though? Where did Homebrew just install this? Let's read what Homebrew actually says, because sometimes it tells us how to solve this problem. Check PHP and PHP FPM any file. I don't care about that. User local etc. PHP 7.3. Do I need to link it? Brew link PHP 7.3. Relink brew unlink PHP and brew link PHP. Okay, we can do that. Hang on, I'm going to define 7.3. Okay, it's created links. Oh, damn you. Damn you. I'm a bit scared that I can't see anything in chat. I mean, that is kind of scary. I'm going to reset everything just to see if it's me. I mean, if anyone is watching and I can see you watching, somebody say something in chat so I know if it's working or not. Maybe it's not working. That would be scary. That would be scary. I don't see anything. Oh, reopen terminal session. Okay, so somebody is actually speaking in chat. Beautiful. you can hear me. Reopen terminal session. Yeah, I think that's a sensible proposal. Hello to Hackathon. Welcome to the stream. It shouldn't make any difference. Oh, it did make a difference. Thank you. Cool. So we've got Composer and we've got our PHP installed. So next we want to install Laravel. And I don't mind globally installing the installer. Totally fine. I kind of like the Laravel installer. Makes life so much easier. So not only did you, Hackathon, give me a great suggestion, but you also allowed me to confirm that I could see chat. So you're winning the stream at the moment. Congratulations. Okay, so there we have. Now we should be able to do. Oh, I probably need to move that to my path, right? Make sure to place code system-wide vendor in directory in your path so the Laravel executable system. The directory exists in different locations. Some of the common locations. So I need to add this to. How do I add that to my path? I can never remember. I add it to. God, it's been so long since I recorded. Add global composer to path. Mac. Install, add the composer's bin directory. This is passed by placing export into your bash profile. I don't have a bash profile, so I can just add that into my brand new bash profile. So vim bash profile. That should be enough, and then I can source my bash profile to reload it, and then I should be able to do Laravel. There we go. Laravel. Right, let's go to my home folder. Make their www. So I got loads of stuff I need to copy into my www. I keep all my stuff in home www, but I can definitely. What's new? 6. I can definitely unback that stuff up, restore it off stream. Happy to help. You're a nice person. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just installing new Laravel. So there's a few things that I expect to see differently here. As we discussed, the actual UI should be different. So the front end scaffolding has been taken out of the Laravel installer, and I guess new scaffolding has been installed, more lightweight scaffolding. So no Bootstrap or Vue code is present in the default scaffolding. So yeah, things are going to look slightly different, I guess, from the off. You can also see Flare and Ignition being pulled in. That's kind of interesting. I'm so excited to take a look. Let's take a look at the documentation for Ignition. I've got a trial account for Flare, so we'll take a look at that as well. I'm kind of excited, so thanks to the team behind Flare who've been gracious enough to give me a trial account. So Ignition's a beautiful and customized error page for Laravel. Running on 5.5. It's a default error page for Laravel 6 applications. Lovely. Allows to publicly share errors on Flare. This is the interesting part. Flare is like software of a service, and Freakmers, welcome to the stream, can confirm if I'm talking nonsense or if I'm actually talking sense here. But Ignition is the client-side error page, and Flare is like the software as a service that allows you to marshal all the errors in all your applications into one place. And I'm sure that I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, having one of the authors of the packages on the stream. Welcome to the stream. But it looks amazing, and this is like, I guess this is taking some influence from Whoops, but it's like a Laravel specific Whoops. So I'm excited to try this out. Thank you very much, Freaky, for actually extending my trial, so I had a chance to look at this on stream. Very much appreciate that. So. Application ready, build something amazing. I will build something amazing. Well, actually, I won't. I'll just play around with Laravel and such and such. So PHP artisan serve or start? Serve! I'm getting there. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, so let's see. This should be a new... Okay, it doesn't look any different. But I guess if we... Yeah, if we look at the... if we look at what's happening with regards to the... Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, so we don't have any JavaScript loading in here. This is now like completely more lightweight. So if we want to actually include the default stuff, the bootstrap stuff and the Vue stuff that we used to get out of the box in 5.6, we need to run some code. So I guess we should do that quickly because I'm interested to see what's changed. So in order to restore the traditional Vue bootstrap scaffolding present in previously Laravel, you must install the Laravel UI package and use the UI artisan command to install the front-end scaffolding. So that's a dev dependency. That's interesting. Doesn't feel like it should be a dev dependency because it feels like it should be production code. But I guess it's a dev dependency because it's only giving you support for the artisan command, in which pulls down all of the client-side stuff that you need. So that makes kind of sense. So yeah, let's compose require Laravel UI dev. I'm interested in this stuff, but I'm more interested to get to the error handling. I mean, I guess we could fire up an error while we wait, right, and see this. So let's open... oh, my system is all to pot. This is so annoying having a fresh MacBook. I do not realize how much I rely on all of the nuances of my MacBook. Okay, so I guess what we could do is let's go to the view and the welcome blade, which this is what we're looking at in our browser. Whoa, this is... The default stuff is not pretty, right? Font. Let's get this right. I could live without that and that. No, 16 and 1.4, please. Still too small. I don't have any of my custom keybinds. This is awful. Okay, let's just make an error anyway. So what if I do hello? So there's no Vue variable and there's no function called hello. So that should error. CLDub! How you doing, Hurricane? Nice of you to drop in. I hope things are doing better for you this week. Okay, cool. We fired up the ignition error while we're updating the UI. So yeah, use of undefined constant hello, assumed hello. This will throw an error in future version of PHP. So this has given us an error, a pretty error, that's telling us that hello is not a is essentially there's no Vue variable called hello. There's no blade variable called hello. This is so pretty. You should be very proud. You should be very proud, freak. And who did you work with? Sorry, because I know there were two of you, right? Who pushed this through. You both should be very proud. So this is telling us what the problem is. Interestingly, what it's also telling us is that I'm using the default database name Laravel, which I do all the time. So that's a nice little hint to be given. Marcel worked on this too, of course he did, and your teams. Really nice. And then we get our typical stack trace, right? So this is telling us exactly where the problem is on line 86. And the request and how the app looks. And is there a user? This is so cool. Any context information. There's no debug data available. I guess if I did some debugging. So if we open the controller and did some debugging, it would appear in there. Pubf home is the default. Let's take a look in the roots. It's been so long since I've worked with Laravel. Dumps, logs, queries, that all goes in the debug tab. Yeah, I'm going to dump something and see, and we can see exactly how that looks. I just need to remember how to override the basic root, the basic controller, because I haven't done this for so long. Roots, there we go. Web, there we go. Oh, okay, so there is no controller. That's fine. We can do a DD in here though, right? Because this is what's being run, and then so what's happening here is the root is being defined as a function rather than a controller. So we're going to go like, oh look, root get slash, which is what we're on now, runs the function and it just returns the view welcome, and welcome is just this view. So we'll just do a DD. Now that is going to debug dump, so I don't know if that's going to fire because it's going to stop execution. No, it doesn't. But what we should be able to do is to do log facade ignition logger. Oh, okay, that's not what I thought it was. We should be able to do logger. There's no other namespace here though. What are you doing? Info is a global function, right? I don't like using the global function, but we'll use the global function. Yeah, I knew there's a global function. I'm just not a big fan of using global functions, even in Laravel, where it's kind of encouraged. But that's okay. That's fine. So yeah, so now we can look under debug and we can see, oh, there we go. We've had this log. That's really, really nice. That's really nice. And I could also, I suppose, do dump. Oh, no, that's not going to work. I was thinking of what I could dump. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, my keybinds are all to pot. I'm going to have to definitely fix this before next stream. Return view welcome. And then we can do like dump. I don't know. Let's just like dump request or something just to see how that looks. Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. And it's telling us where it's being dumped as well. How can it... Whoa, what is this magic? Two thumbs up for that. Like, you can open it to the exact line in PHP Storm. I mean, mind blown. I mean, oh, I want to try that again. Can I do that anywhere? Oh my God. You should be so proud. Look at that. Like, I knew you could do that with PHP Storm. I knew you could do the links. I'm pointing to it, but of course you can't see my hands, so that's no good. But if you look down in the bottom left of the screen, hang on. I can't really make it any bigger, right? If you look, no, that doesn't help. If you look down in the bottom left of the screen, you can see that there's a URL that starts with PHP Storm ://open. And it's obviously PHP knows where my file is located on the local system. And so it's only a case, I say it's only, I'm not trying to break the magic, freak, sorry, but it's only a case of making a well-formed URL to tell PHP Storm to open it. But the absolute best thing about this is not the fact that it's easy to do, is the thought to put it in. The extra step is amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I'll never get bored of being able to click on stuff in my stack trace and be taken to the code. That's super cool. That is super cool. Share. Okay. Oh, so this is... Oh, right. I guess we should take a look at Flare now. Unless there's anything else you recommend we take a look at. Because, I mean, I'm already blown away, but it's pretty cool. We don't have a user. Oh, we could and should probably add the new UI, right? How do we do that? Runnable solutions are always cool. Hackathon, I agree. So yeah, I want to, I mean, I should be able to say PHP Artisan UI and then React and auth. Can I have React and the auth, please? Okay. That seemed to work. Just remove your app key in your env to trigger a runnable solution. I think you covered what's supposed to be. Just remove your app key in your .env to... Okay, let's try that. .env. Oh, I haven't opened it recently. See, I really need to load my PHP Storm. Remove my app key. This app key is totally trivial. I know you shouldn't expose your app key. I know, but the fact is, I don't care. So I'll get rid of the error in. Oh, hang on. I should be able to just like jump to it from here, right? Yep. Boop. I'll never get bored of that. I'll never ever get bored of that. Okay, so I don't have an app key now in my env. I know that this can be cached sometimes, right? So maybe I need to do an artisan command. Yeah, I guess I probably do need to clear config. Let's just take a look. I'm just going to take a quick look at the UI. I'm jumping all over the place here, but I'm excited. As you can tell, this stuff is so cool. Yeah, so now I've just... No, I didn't want to view source. I wanted to take a look at the network here. So I guess this is now... I mean, it's installed the auth stuff, right? Let's take a look at what's changed in the view. This is going to be in the resources, views, layouts, app.blade. Okay. So this should have installed React, if I'm not mistaken, and Twitter Bootstrap. It's definitely installed the auth, so that's all good. I mean, it's installed the auth, which is really cool. So let's register. Oh, I've broken something. I love it when I break something, because I didn't really do anything. I wonder if I actually should have not used React there. I like breaking stuff. In this stream, trying to break Laravel to trigger cool errors. I already, like, totally don't mind breaking stuff to trigger cool errors. I'm just replacing everything here because I did something that was atypical. So let's do PHP artisan. Cache clear. Yay! Okay. So I've still broken something. Oh, you idiot. You idiot! I lose. Okay. So we've got a debug dump somewhere still. We've got a debug somewhere still, I should say, which was in web.php, right? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get this working again. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Spabby. Good morning, Chef Bren. Brilliant to see you. I think you were good, but you need to run npm install. Yeah, I probably do. I probably do need to do that. I mean, if I remember correctly, like, it even told me I should do that. I just completely ignored it. because that's the way I roll. I don't mind using Vue. I would... Oh... That's going to be a problem, right? That I don't have npm installed. That's going to be a real problem. I'm going to drink some tea as you watch my homebrew installer run. I hope things are good with you, Chef Brent. Nice to see you. You've been so helpful to me over the last week, so thank you so much. This is traditional, what we call traditional UK British builder's tea. So, breakfast tea with a drop of milk. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so now we should have npm, right? Here we go. Now we get to sit and watch npm doing this. While npm's doing that, let's see if we can actually trigger the error that is fixable. Because that is going to be super cool as well. So the fact there's no app key here, freak, should be triggering an error, right? That should trigger a Laravel error, I guess. Now we've got a login form. Lovely. You think so? Okay. Gary, ghockin@twilio.com. Password... I don't know. Here we go. So I don't have SQL Server installed, so I totally expect... And also I didn't run the migrations, right? I think I need to manually run the migrations after I've enabled off. But it's cool. So there's a couple of problems here that's been picked up, which is really nice. The stack trace stuff is so cool. I'd love to know how you did this. Like... I'd love to get you on stream maybe next time, Freak, if you're up for it, because this stuff is super cool. You've never heard of Twilio before now. You're not a bad developer. It just means you haven't needed to solve any problems that we make really easy. That's not mean it doesn't mean you're a bad developer. It means I'm really bad at my job because my job is to make sure that you've heard about Twilio. So, yeah, it turns out that I'm the one who's bad, not you. Excuse me. Yeah, this is super cool. We're gonna have to get you on the stream, Freak. Or Marcel, like, or both of you. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have both of you on there. And of course, we also need to hang out soon. If you're at any events, I'll buy you some beers for this. This is brilliant. So I guess I need to, like, brew install MySQL. And I could just use Homestead for this, right? But we can get this running. We're multitasking here. This is all good. So let's see if we can trigger a fixable error. Let me think what a good fixable error would be. So this is like that using a database Laravel, and this database does not exist. I'll fix that. Although, in all honesty, no database exists, I don't think. Oh, it does. It's just not started. Okay. So let's start MySQL. Let's fix this problem as we go along. So I've started MySQL now. There we go. MySQL minus username root minus P. Okay, so create database base Laravel. Okay, so that should have fixed a problem, right? It probably can't connect though, which is another problem we can fix quite easily. Oh, it should use the .env. Doesn't it use the .env if I haven't added it anywhere else? I always get confused here about where you need to add stuff in Laravel, to be honest. I always, like, get totally confused. Oh, I'll tell you what we can do first is we can do PHP artisan migrate. So this should, like, oh, we've had this error before. I've Googled this on stream like 6 times and I haven't written a blog post on it. What an idiot. Like, this error happens all the time when you run in PHP 7. I like, this is probably the 3rd time I've had to live Google this on stream. And I haven't actually documented it anywhere. Development is so difficult. I know you can add. You should get Freak to add this as a detectable error, or tell me how to add it as a detectable error, and I'll make the pull request. Because like this is totally fixable in an easy way. You just need to run like use the old mechanism. I guess what I need to do is use a different. Have you noticed who sponsors this? Have you noticed who sponsors this website, Freak? If you're still there, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, what we need to do is create a new user. Create a new user. See, it's a small. I was just thinking, I recognize Odia as a product. Who do I know who runs Odia? And then I thought, oh, it's somebody who's in chat. That's interesting. Yeah, so the way you fix this is to create a new user and tell them to use the old authentication method. The reason this error happens is because MySQL 7, I'd like to say. I'd like to say 7. MySQL 8, apologies. MySQL 8 uses a new authentication method. MySQL uses a different authentication method to MySQL 7 out of the box. And Laravel is trying to use the old authentication method, the version 7 method. So what you need to do is create a user that can use that old authentication method in order to connect natively. I'm pretty sure there's a way you could fix this using Laravel. I don't know how to do it. So we'll just do it the way that I do know how to do it. So ODSCI, that's obviously Matthias and Freak have like seen this problem before. Let's just call it stream. No, let's call it follow me. Because you should totally follow me if you're watching right now. I'm good at this. I'm good at... Apparently, just asking people to follow you works. Thank you very much for the follow, Robinos. Very kind of you. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Who else is followed? Sondriel, thank you very much for the follow. So we've got a new user called Follow Me and Follow Me, which is nice and easy. And then we have to grant the permissions, right? So we say... no, we don't exit. We say... Someone else just followed. I hear the do. Follow me. And this is the database name, right? And the database name was Laravel. Okay, cool. Thank you for the follow, Robin Malfight. Thank you. In before the password is sub to me. Yeah. See, it's really cool to be able to actually say you should follow me and people should follow me. I mean, that is... I didn't even realize that works. If you already have an existing user, you can just run this, right? That's fine. So now we need to update our .m file in Laravel and say, okay, don't use the username root, use the username follow me, and use the password follow me. And we're using the same database. And I never know when I need to do like a PHP artisan cache clear. So we'll just do one anyway, because, you know, why not? And then we'll go back to our beautiful ignition error page. And we still have an error. What's going on? The server request authentication method unknown to the client. Okay, so... Oh, we should actually do PHP artisan migrate, right? Because that... So that works. So I feel like this is a caching problem. Migrations. Thank you, Rabinos. Yeah. I did forget that, but I did remember it. Welcome to the stream, Marcel. Nice to have you here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So we've done that, but I still think this is going to fail. Because the error here is the server requesting an unknown authentication method, not, I can't find the table. So it's not even been able to connect to the database at this point. So I wouldn't actually expect this to fail. I remember the last time I did this, I made a joke about this being like the 1990s where you have to physically restart Apache for this to take. And I bet that's what's going to solve it. Restarting the web server, I bet you that will, because I've updated the config, I need to restart the web server. I'm willing to like... Oh! And now we get, okay, now we get the other error, restarting the web server. I always remember when PHP's in development mode, it caches a load of stuff. This is stuff that's like really important to remember when you're using Laravel's PHP app serve. That sometimes you do need to be old school and stop and start the server like we used to have to do with Apache. So yeah, here we go. No application key has been specified. So this is super tricksy in my mind. Because now what it's saying is you don't have an app key, you need to generate one. You could generate it by either running PHP Artisan key generate or you can click generate app key. Yeah, I mean, the solution was executed successfully. So I'm guessing that uses like a exec command freak or something. It didn't work. But it's probably more to do with the permissions on my machine than it is anything else. Or I probably need to restart my web server again. It's probably worked, right? It has worked. It's just I probably need to restart my web server again for that to take. It's probably what's happened here. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. The only supported ciphers are AES 128 and AES 256. And what cipher is it trying to use? Base 64. Naughty. PHP artisan. What was the command again? Oh, if I remove the... I'll get told the command, right? If I remove the PHP artisan key generate, that's what we want. I don't know why he's generating using a cipher that's not supported. Oh, you. I wonder if it's done that. It's still done it. Restarting web servers. Yeah, this is literally because I'm using the PHP's inbuilt web server and because Laravel's caching so aggressive, Chef Brent. You can judge me all you want, by the way. You don't think it's not related to AppKey, okay? I thought it was using a different cipher before I removed it. Yeah, I think it was. Under the hood, we run artisan call key generate. Oh, because of course, hey, of course, the artisan commands are registering. You can register. You register handlers to the command line, so you're running the handler essentially directly without the CLI handler being run. You're running what the CLI handler would call. God, I'm making a butcher of that explanation, but I think you understand what I'm saying, right? I think that's what's happening is you're running the direct code that the handler would call when you register it as what to do when it's being handled. Hey, I know you're teasing, Chef Brent. I know you're teasing, but you have to accept that I'll tease you back. It's fine. So yeah, that's really cool. Now we should be able to register. I mean, there's my Twilio email. Who cares? Follow me. Follow me. You're logged in. Everything's working now. That's super cool. Here's where the solution's defined. See, okay. This is where you watch me watch my own stream so that I can copy and paste that from chat. Because, like, I'm not trying to artificially bump my numbers. Can you paste it again? Freak Ben Chance. Freak Murs. Because I actually have chat on a different machine. Which you can see here. Like, and so I encode everything and stream from a different PC than I actually code on. So it's a bit of a pain for me unless I do this. There we go. So we can leave that there in case people post back. So here's what happens, right? Yeah. So I mean, I would love it if you'd be interested, Marcel and Freaky, coming on the stream and talking through how this works under the hood. I would absolutely love that because this is really, really cool stuff. So if we generate another error, let's just do a really simple one again, right? Let's do some of this stuff here again. Let's do info cat equals dog. So let's add some debugging stuff. Let's debug follow me again, please. Because that seems to work, right? So I'm totally gonna keep pushing that now. Highly recommend share mouse to solve that problem. Thank you, Chef Brent. I will totally take a look at that off stream. So we've got some info in here, and then if we go back to the welcome.blade.php, right, and then add some. Oh, I've forgotten how Blade works. Even is it single? It's double, right? I was correct. This doesn't exist at all. Okay, so hopefully this will be an error that is caught. I guess it will be. Yeah. Call to undefined function debug. Oh yeah, I didn't want to debug, did I? I wanted to dump. My bad. That's totally an error I can fix. It wasn't the error I was expecting, but that's fine. Okay, so now we've got call to undefined function. This doesn't exist at all, which we totally expect. And then we've got, like, this stuff that blew my mind last time, where it's like, this is where the error is, and I can open that in my IDE. Like, that is... Mwah. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. And then what we want to do now is we want to try and use the Flare stuff, right? So I haven't looked at this. I've got a Flare account. Shared on Flare. Okay, so this is a paste bin. Oh, that is so nice. So this is essentially like a paste bin, right? So this is, I assume anyone in chat can now open this like a gist. So now anyone else who wants to, so if I'm like working in a team, I can dump that in Slack and go, I'm getting this error. Can anyone help me? And then they go, oh yeah, I know how that error is. You haven't defined this error. Wow, that is super cool. I mean, I'm becoming a fanboy of this product, as you can tell, but kudos. So if we log in, I can't remember what oh dear. Oh dear. It's okay. Shh, oh no. Oh no. I'm logged in on this machine though. I need to get that mouse thing. I need to get that share mouse. Is it expensive, Brent? Chef Brent's our resident streamer at Chef Brent's our resident streamer at Twilio and is awesome. Gary at Hawk.in apparently. And the password is, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you the password. That will be totally. I don't know why I didn't put that into my LastPass though. Remember me. Here we go. That should log us in. So yeah, Chef Brent gives me all of the advice in the world on streaming. Yeah, let's save that there, and now let's add that there. Okay. So let's add my first project. I created this under the Twilio team because obviously we're going to be, the team needs to be something and hopefully I'm hoping, I mean, I'm blown away, so it's almost certainly going to happen, but I'm hoping to write a blog post on this stuff because it's so cool. So let's call this project name What's New 6. Now, I probably will end up sharing some private stuff here, freak, but it's okay as long as I cycle keys at the end of the stream, right? I'm sure this is all that's going to happen here is someone's going to be able to push errors to my throwaway project, right? So this isn't going to be a big deal in my mind, at least. Yeah, I can cycle it. That's fine then. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, I've revealed my Twilio API keys enough times on stream, so you know, people can make and receive phone calls and SMSs using that. So this is all good. Okay. So now we just need to do this, right? I'm assuming that we need to do this. Okay, yeah, in Laravel 6, it'll move it from dev dependencies to dependencies. So that is sensible to me. This is kind of interesting, right? Because if we look at our composer.json now, because I'd like to talk about this stuff, because this is like going the extra mile. I can't see my normally Command-Shift-C. In fact, I'm going to do that right away. Because I cannot possibly not have this. Function Shift F12. Function F12. Function Shift F12. Yeah, restore default layout. That's what I want to map. So this is a behind the scenes of how I use PHP Storm. So I like to use Command-Shift-C, which is generate DDL to keyboard. I never use. Copy paths, I never use. So what I like to do is to remove it from all the other assignments. So now what I can do is, by using Command-Shift-C, I can close all of the windows that I don't use. And then I can just get to, you know, if I've got this open, maybe I've got the terminal, maybe I got the debug window down there, maybe I got the database browser. I can just use Command-Shift-C to bang, I'm just back to my code. Because one of the pain points with PHP Storm can be, like, it gets super cluttered. Especially, like, this is a 720p window. So that people can see on the stream what's going on. The other thing I like to do is to get rid of these tabs. They just annoy me. If I can remember how to do that, that would be good. There is a way to do it. View. Okay. Double shift tabs. Configure edit the tabs. Tab placement, none. No thank you. Because then what I do, configuration file compose, yeah, thank you. I know that it has composer dependencies. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked from the composer stuff here, but this stuff is good to me. So then what I do is I use Command E to look at recent files, and then you can just start typing them. And then Command Shift O is what I normally use to open, like, whatever. If I know I want to open controller.php, I can type. So that's how I manage stuff. So interestingly, what's happened now is Ignition is a dev dependency, and there's a reason it's a dev dependency, and that's because you should only be exposing errors and stack traces and, oh, look, we can fix this problem for you in development. At no point should this package be run on your production server. Because can you imagine, like, if what happens then is somebody's like hits an error on your production server and they can click a button and go, yeah, fix it for me. Run this arbitrary command on my production web server. Like, obviously you don't want that happening, right? That's kind of scary. So out of the box, it's totally sensible for Ignition to be a dev dependency. But I think, and I'm sure that the guys in chat who the authors of this product will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that in production, if your env is set correctly so that it's a production env, which it totally should be with Laravel, so if this is production or whatever, I don't know if it is the actual production is the word, but then what will happen is that it will give you a generic error message but send the stack trace to Flare. So in Flare, you'll not only see the errors that you get when you hack in locally, but if errors happen in your production environment, it won't reveal any details so that the security is breached. But what it will also do is it'll slam everything to Flare. So we'll see if we can replicate that now. That's like a really interesting thing. So anyway, that's why you need to require facade ignition to be non-dev dependency, because now you're saying, actually, I would like Ignition to handle errors in production, but I'm just going to send them to Flare so they don't get exposed. So that makes perfect sense to me. So let's compose a require facade ignition. So all this should do is move the dependency from being a dev dependency to being a full dependency, right, in composer.json. So yeah, now it's been moved. It's also bumped a couple of versions. Because I think it was 1.6 before. I wouldn't swear to that. But that's fine. Doesn't matter. So that's interesting. And then we need to register the Flare logger in the channels key of your config logger.php.file. Okay, so yeah, copy that, please. So this needs to go in config login.php. Command Shift O, login.php. And does it matter where this goes? I didn't really read it properly, did I? Should have read the docs in the channels key of your config login. Okay, that I should have read before channels. So it just goes here then. Luckily, we've got like tech support on demand in this stream, which is always the best way to do things. Like, I should just stream stuff more often to have the to have tech support on demand. It's like mob programming. That's why I love streaming. This is super cool. Okay, so now we've just added some config to the login, right? That's completely normal when you add this kind of stuff. And then copy the key. So I guess this is my custom API key that Flare uses to identify me. So we need to slam that in our .m file, which we have here. So let's just shove it there for now. Step 3, Gary, step 3. I missed step 3. Oh, see. Yeah, but you should have let me mess up there. You could have made me look like a complete fool, but you chose not to. Like, I love you for it, but you could have made me look like a complete fool, knowing that it was 100% user error. It was like driver error, not or don't run step 3 and mess up to see the useful debug output. Let's just yeah, I'll get you some beers when I see you. You know I'm always good for them. I don't know, we'll probably be like Benelux Freak if you're or if you're around, I'm in a couple of Q4 events, but PHP Bulgaria in Europe and PHP World if we're about there. So I know you'll be at Benelux. We'll definitely hang out. Okay, so let me read this again just in case. Add the flare logger to your selected logging stack in your config login PHP file. Okay, so we're in the same file. We just want to add this stack. Oh, there's already a stack there. Driver stack, channels, daily, and flare. What is this actually doing out of interest? We could totally talk about this if you come on stream. Ignore. Okay, so I just need to add the extra channel to the stack. I get it. So I think what's happening here, if I remember correctly, is that out of the box, Laravel will log errors to the daily log file, which is in storage logs here. So out of the box, it logs stuff to the daily log file. Now what we're saying is log stuff to the daily log file and also log it to Flare. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. I remember working with this years ago, and I remember that's how these things work. So we've just added an extra driver, essentially, an extra channel, to the stack of places to log. Now I can copy the Flare key to my M file, which I think I did. And then I should be able to run this, right? And we should see something erroring. Tick, tick. Well, 2 ticks for a start. That's good. We tried to send an exception to Flare. Please check if it's arrived. Okay, I will check if it's arrived. And then there's the exception. That's super cool. So now I should be able to run this, right? And this should automatically log to Flare as well. So we've run that. Let's go back to wherever Flare was here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is pretty cool. So it's giving me the URL that was hit, the exception, and the stack trace. It sends all the information. This is amazing stuff. Genuinely, this is amazing stuff. Like, as a person who's worked tons in the web development industry, and as a person who's worked on applications that have like millions of hits a day, in the advertising industry, some of the biggest pain in the ass you can have is trying to reduce your log files to 0, right? Because let's be honest, we should all be aspiring to have 0 errors in our log files, which is totally an impossible goal in some regards. But in other regards, it's not an impossible goal at all. So this kind of stuff is super useful. Because I'm used to just looking at a line in a log file. You know, I encourage everyone to turn to log warnings, log deprecation warnings, monitor that stuff, and remove them so that you can see the wood from the trees. Because one of the biggest problems I've had in projects in the past has been, oh my god, like how do I know where the error is? We have 10,000 log file entries in production a day because we have 9,400 deprecation warnings and 30 warnings because we've done something we've never fixed. So like, number 1 is get rid of all that stuff, and number 2 is just use something like this, because this is frankly going to make life massively easier. Because when you get these odd problems where somebody emails you or tweets you going, oh, I tried to log in and it won't let me log in and I really need to get access to whatever software as a service you're providing. Like, trying to find what the hell is going on to replicate it is a nightmare. Whereas being able to see stuff like this is, like, you can see what browser they're on. You know, you can see the logs that request logged if you're using it. It's like, just, you can look at this, you can see the database queries that have been run. Super useful. Super useful. I applaud you. I don't know how much Flare are charging for this, but it's definitely worth a look. And I'm not not sponsored stream, by the way. Let's make that clear. Anyway, where were we? There was other stuff we wanted to look at. This is super cool. It is super cool. So we'll get the ignition stroke flare team on the stream soon. I promise. So we looked at the UI stuff. What I really wanted to look at is the okay. I like to have my mind blown. I'm going to come back to that freak in a moment. I really want to take a look at Vapor. I really, really want to take a look at Vapor, and we're already an hour and 10 in. So I will come back to it, though. We'll take a look at that at the end. So before I spill cold tea down my front, in fact, that's got to go away. That's like not tasting good now. Let's get some water on the go. So I've worked quite a lot with Breath. I've worked a ton with Breath. Breath is really cool. And if you don't know what Breath is a tool for running PHP in serverless environments. So, for example, you can run PHP on AWS Lambda. And that is really, really cool. And it works with serverless framework. Serverless framework is a general framework that allows you to run serverless commands really nicely. So Breath works fine with Laravel. Excuse me 1 second. Breath works perfectly fine with Laravel, right? In fact, I think there's a Laravel part. Yeah, there we go. On how you can run Laravel stuff in the clouds. I like calling them clouds, not cloud. In the clouds with AWS Lambda. So you've been able to do this for a while. AWS do not support PHP out of the box. You need to have your own layer to run PHP. But, it's pretty simple with Breath. And if you're not using Laravel, I highly recommend Breath as a PHP runner if you just want to run stuff in the cloud on Lambda. But with 6, we've got Vapor, which is, I guess, Laravel specific Breath. So it's pretty cool. So I guess I need to sign up. I don't know if there's a trial. I hope there's a trial. But we'll see. Suggest no. Okay, yeah. This is going to be a problem. Bear with me 1 sec. Bear with me. Okay. I don't really like to expose passwords to the entire stream, so you have to excuse me there. So we've got Vapor here. Lovely. So before creating your first project, you need to subscribe to a billing plan. Vapor is one simple monthly fee regards to how many projects, deployments, teams. Okay. I guess can I just have a trial? No? No trial for me? No trial for me, Tail? No? I guess let's just see. Let's see what happens. I mean, I could pay $39, I guess. Try it out. Yeah, no. We're not going to pay $39. Sorry. I can't even trial this. Okay, can we read the documentation at least? That's a shame. I really, 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 really wanted to try this, but I thought we would be able to have like a trial account. I guess we can look at this in the next stream, though. I'll get this sorted out by the next stream. It's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Is the docs here anywhere? So you create your AWS structure from within Vapor, which is a shame. But we'll take a look. So let's go back to looking at what else was new then. In which case we can actually try this mind blown extension. So I guess that Ignition takes extensions, so you can extend Ignition to add new functionality, which is really cool. So we've got Ignition Tinker tab. This package allows you to use Artisan Tinker. Artisan Tinker allows you to run code in the scope of Laravel from within the command line, if I remember correctly. So we can do PHP Artisan Tinker, right? And then we can do like info, hello, which should log. Because it's info's in scope, because it's bootstrapped Laravel into this command line. So DD shouldn't be in scope, but what's happened is Tinker has bootstrapped all of Laravel so I can get access to it. So I should be able to do like, oh, hello. I created a new app. What an idiot. Let's try again. So I should be able to do like user equals new. I'm on this keyboard, excuse me. And then we create a new user. So you can see everything's in scope. So Tinker's really cool if you use Laravel for just running some throwaway code just to see exactly what happens. So then we've got the Ignition code editor, which is the one that the team wanted me to check. This package registers the existing stack trace tab, adds an online code editor as the code snippet view. You can edit all application frames and by pressing Command S immediately save the changes you made. What, to the actual file on my command on my... Oh, that's cool stroke scary. That's equal parts cool, equal parts scary. Yeah. Oh, we wanted to check what happens when I put this in production mode as well. That's another thing I wanted to do. Yeah, don't install that one on production. Yeah, it's all right. We'll just give people the option to edit our code on production. It'll be cool. It's fine. So let's go back to our Laravel app, and we should have a new tab somewhere. Oh, I didn't read the docs properly there, did I? Because I literally just Composer required it. I probably need to add it or do something else. No, it replaces the existing tab. My bad. Okay, so this is now a code editor. It is a code editor. So what? We can fix this bug. This is just evil. Like, why would you do this? I can understand, like, why you think this is a good idea, but geez, this is scary stuff. Like, you were so the Jurassic Park quote. You were so like focused on to see if you could. You didn't stop to think if you should. I guess. That's pretty cool, though. That is pretty cool. I have to say, that is pretty cool. I'm gonna remove that before I forget that it's there, but it is cool. Now, let's see what else we got, because I'm interested. That was what we looked at. Ignition self-diagnosis. This package adds a new tab to Ignition to show you common self-diagnosis checks and their results. Oh, that's nice. So this will do like a checklist of stuff you should have done, I guess. Let's take a look at that too. This is really nice stuff. I like it. Do we just have an error for that self-diagnosis to run, I guess? So that's cool. I don't think we have an error anymore, right? Because we just fixed it using the using the code hacker, which scared the life out of me. Follow me. Okay, so that took a little bit longer. So I guess that it did some diagnosis there. Look at this. So the API key set, the correct PHP version installed, the database can be accessed, all the directs have the correct permissions, the M file exists, and the example M files are set. Required locals are installed, maintenance mode's not enabled, good, migrations are up to date, required PHP extension is installed, the storage directory isn't linked. The storage directory is not linked. Use PHP Artisan storage link to create a symbolic link. Why? What does that? I never even heard of that. Your composer dependencies are not up to date. Composer installed to update them. Won't that just install them rather than update them? Does that get rid of that error though? No. Your composer dependencies are not up to date. Call composer installed to update them. The home or composer home environment variable must be set for composer to run correctly. Okay. I'm alright with that one. So what this is saying is the env example is what you should ship in version control. So what you should do is in version control, you should set all of your env examples to be updated. But I've got something in my env there isn't in my env example, which is a very good catch, actually. So what I'm saying is now in my env example, I'm saying set the flare key here, please. So that should fix that problem. This is really, really neat. I love it. So that's fixed that problem. And we can run this to fix that problem. Let's try and get some green ticks. I like it. Okay. Hopefully that's fixed that problem. Now we just have this composer one, which I don't really understand. Your composer dependencies are not up to date. Call composer installed to update them. Okay. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Now I wanted to check to see what happens if we're in production mode. So if I say this is now production, if I say like production and then debug equals false, so this should now not show me the error, right? But still log it to, where's my flare tab gone? Flare. Okay, cool. So if I'm just gonna like resolve all these errors. Can I hide them? Or do they're green, they're resolved, that's fine. Oh, they're green. It's totally fine. Just refresh, okay. Yeah, cool. Exception, high stream, resolve. Okay, cool. So we've got everything's resolved. Very nice. So now what I want to do is see what happens when we're in production mode. I may need to restart. I probably need to restart the web server because, as Chef Brent said, this is 1999. I think that it only passes the M file when it starts up the PHP server. So any changes to the M file, you need to restart the server. It's fine. Not a big deal. So now we get this very professional, really neat server error that doesn't give anything away except for my dump, which is my own fault. Totally my own fault, right? I should never leave that in production code. So this is what it would look like in production, right? We see 500 server error, but we don't see any stack traces. But if I go to my actual ignition, I now see what errors my users are seeing. Complete with the stack trace with an exact line of where the problem is, what was sent as a request. So if this error was only happening when someone follows a link with a weird query string, we'd see it. And the state of the app is running just the web middleware. This is super cool. This is who's logged in at the time. Nice. It's me. Look, it's me. Hello. The client info, I'm on OS X, a Mac, I'm on Chrome, blah, blah, blah. The IP address, okay, we don't get that now. This is so good. Are you allowed to show the IP address? Is the IP address covered by GDPR? I don't know. Just a question. And then any stuff we've put into the log. Any stuff we've dumped and any database stuff. Super cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. I only wish we could have taken a look at Vapor as well, to be honest, because that looked super duper. Can we look at the docs? Oh, what else did you want us to take a look at, actually? Let's see. Third-party extensions, too. Ignition Stack Overflow. Okay. An ignition package to show your migrations and their status. Oh, so that can... So this will tell you whether the migrations have been run or not, I guess. That's kind of cool if you're commonly having errors because you forget to run migrations. That's nice. And then there's one that allows you to look stuff up on Stack Overflow, which looks and sounds kind of dangerous to me, to be honest. But again, that's fine. I am opinionated, and my opinions are not always 100% correct. Let me make that clear. But I am highly opinionated. So this allows you to pull stuff out of Stack Overflow. I'm going to have to try this one. I'm going to have to. Because this is comedy gold. So, cool. I mean, it's not going to know the error I've done, I would guess. But it still sounds cool. Like, everyone should immediately... Oh, I closed my Flare app window again. Idiot. Oh, yeah, okay. We need to go back into debug mode, right? Does it, out of interest, Marcel, does it care what app env is, or does it just look at whether app debug is true or false? I mean, I could try it and see, I guess, but... Because I don't know what's best practice for that kind of thing with Laravel. Like... Yeah, no questions found for your query. I'm the first person to generate an error that doesn't exist in Stack Overflow, which is like achievement unlocked for me, 100%. 100%. So, let's get rid of that error. Any suggestions for good errors, common Laravel errors that may have an answer on Stack Overflow? Anyone? You think the app debug is the most important step? Yeah, I think so too. I think... Like, I would love to see this in a production environment. That's the truth. I would absolutely love to see this. Like, to see how much value this gives you in a production environment. Yeah, I could just delete my app key again. It's a good call. Stack Overflow will almost certainly have a result for that, right? Cycle Nginx, Apache. Cycle Apache. Okay, so now it's saying I can fix it for you. The self-diagnosis has not picked that up, by the way. I'm the live bug tester of Doom, finding all your bugs. Because that surely should be across now, right? Yeah. It's €100 a bug. Is that fair? So let's take a look what Stack Overflow says. Yeah, look at this. That is pretty cool, actually. It is pretty cool if this is the way that you... 1p per bug. Deal! It is pretty cool if this is... You know, I worry when I see stuff like this. And this is me going on my opinionated rant again. I worry that people's immediate first turn on seeing an error is to go to Stack Overflow. And I guess that is the case for some people. I guess some people do see a bug and head straight over to Stack Overflow. But it's kind of, you know, it kind of makes me sad. It makes me sad to think that is what happens. And then what's the Laracast? Because Laracast is the Laravel specific Stack Overflow, right? Or it's the Laracast forum. So that's cool. Really nice. I really wanted to look at Vapor Laravel docs. I really want to look at Vapor. And I can't. Oh, that's the GitHub. So we'll have to just take a look at the docs for 10 minutes and see what we can see here. So Laravel's autoscale service, blah, blah, blah. So let's see how this works. Excuse me one second. We'll take a look at this in detail the back end of the week. I'll buy an account and we'll take a good look at this, at how this works, because this is cool stuff too. So Vapor projects are created via the Vapor UI or the Vapor init CLI command. Command should be executed. Blah, blah. So you can use a YAML file. That's what I was scared about. I'm always scared when you have to create your infrastructure using a UI, because I feel like your infrastructure should be part of your version control. If your application's running serverlessly and it needs a Redis instance to run, the fact that you've added a Redis instance to the infrastructure should be a repeatable command that is part of your infrastructure and should therefore be under version control. So it can be reviewed like everything else. It's my own opinion again. Your mileage may vary, but that's what I found in my historically in my career. So this stuff does look really cool. So we should totally try and run through this on the stream. Is that something people will be interested in seeing? Me trying to get a Laravel app up and running on using Vapor? Because I think it's interesting, to be honest. But you guys may not. You people may not be interested at all. As you may know, this project's no chemistry. So you create an environment, yeah, which is what you do using AWS anyway. So this is like it's like a bespoke ripoff of the serverless framework. Can I say that on stream? Can I say that this is a bespoke ripoff of the serverless framework without alienating all of my Laravel friends? Because it is, right? This is essentially exactly the same as serverless, but specific for Laravel. It'll be a short stream because Vapor makes it really easy. It should make it easy, right? And there's something to be said for that, right? Let's be honest here. I'm being glib and saying, there's already a product that does this. But if this is specific to the problems that are specific to PHP or specific to Laravel, and it makes it like a massively easier proposition for those problems, then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Sometimes you're trying to fit because let's be honest, right? Let's take a look at it anyway, right? The serverless framework, right? This is a one size fits all. This is a one size fits all product for running your applications in a serverless environment. So what this does is it abstracts out the commands. So theoretically, you should be able to define your project in the serverless framework and then deploy it to whatever platform you want. You should be able to deploy it to Azure, AWS, IBM, OpenWhisk, IBM's serverless, whatever. It should be able to do that. But because it also supports like a bajillion languages. So because it does that, it's can be quite complicated to get this working perfectly with PHP. And I imagine it's a struggle to get this working with PHP and with Laravel, right? Oh, look at this. How to use serverless and Twilio to automate your communication channels by my good friend Stefan. That's nice to see. Hey, Copperbeardy. So I get the fact that Bref then so what Bref does is it takes this product, this huge, monstrous serverless product, and it makes it PHP specific, because you can't run PHP on AWS without your own custom layer. So Bref is using serverless, but it's extending serverless so that it supports PHP easier. That's what Bref does. And that works with like Symfony, should work with like Slim, Laravel, anything really. Magento, I guess, if you like down that persuasion, WordPress, any of those good things, it should work. So then I'm guessing that what Vapor's doing is just going one step further and going, do you know what? We're going to be even more specific, and we're going to create a product that is Laravel specific, not just PHP specific. Which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I also noticed that this is a paid system, whereas Bref is open source. So maybe it's worth looking at doing the same thing in Bref and Vapor and seeing what you pay for. Maybe that's a more interesting stream for the next time, actually. Rather than like looking at Vapor, let's get something up and running in Vapor and seeing how easy and what problems it solves, and let's do the same thing in Bref. Because that answers the questions. The questions I have now is, what is Vapor doing that you can't do with Bref? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't. And so these streams are really cool to find out those answers. So I guess it'll be on Friday, same time. We'll do that stream. I've got like 10, 15, 20 minutes more if there's any recommendations on what people want to see. Or we can just keep looking at Ignition, or we can go back to the release notes for Laravel 6 and see what else we haven't delved into and take a look at some other stuff. Yeah, I guess we can do that, because I'm really interested to see what's changed. So I don't know anything about authorization. I don't really use authorization that much. The job middleware I think is really cool. But it cleans something up rather than actually giving you functionality, I think, for me. Because you create a job middleware. And lazy collections. Yeah, the lazy collections are super cool. Like really, really, really cool. So I wonder if we can... We've got like 20 minutes. I wonder if we can like see how much... Yeah, let's do it. Big MySQL database dump free. Yes, I just want to find like a free data set. Does anyone know any free data sets that have like maybe 10,000 records or more? Data set, not data dump. Thank you, Cora. Nice. Because what I'd like to do is to like create a collection and then run the same code with the lazy collection and see how much less memory it uses. So essentially, let's take a look at what the lazy collections are first. What lazy collections are doing? Are they using generators to iterate over large data sets or any data sets? But I guess you wouldn't see much of a difference in a data set of like 100 items. It probably wouldn't even, you probably wouldn't even notice. But in data sets of like 10,000 items, or like, yeah, look, this is running over a log file that's like, could be, well, the interesting thing about iterating over a log file is you have no idea how much memory you're going to need to load that log file in at the beginning. Anyone who's worked with log files will be completely familiar with the fact that iterating them over them is a pain in the ass. Now, you don't need a lazy collection to do this, right? This generator here, this yield will fix that for you. This is a more interesting thing for me. You need to iterate through 10,000 eloquent models. So what's happening here is we're pulling all the users out of the database, right? And then we're running a filter on them, which essentially iterates over each of the users. And what happens is when you iterate over each of the users, what we called in Zen Framework, and I don't know what the correct terminology is in Laravel with collections, but you hydrate it. So you take a row of data that's in the database and you turn it into an object with properties that you can query to pull out the data. So we used to call that hydrating, which is a term I kind of like. So you're essentially turning an array into an object, or turning a row of data into an object. So what happens is this in old Laravel 5.8 would essentially load 10,000. It would create and hydrate 10,000 objects in memory at the same time, whereas the new version, which is using the lazy collection, will create one object in memory and then free that up, and then create another object in memory and free it up. So you're not creating 10,000 objects and then iterating over them. You're iterating over the stream of data but creating one object at a time, which is a much better way of doing it. Let's be honest. I can't think of that many cases when a lazy collection wouldn't be better than a normal collection. I guess if you're having to load all the stuff into memory anyway for some other reason, you might want to use a traditional collection. But I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer. I guess if you want to compare like an n+1 scenario where you want to compare a row in a collection with the collection that comes before and after it, or something of those nature, there must be some specific problems that having all of the data loaded into a collection is useful. Fake database of employees, small. That's not very good. I don't want like a huge super duper one because it'll take forever to actually for me to actually run this and load the data into MySQL. Like, how many rows are in employees? Not that many. That's no good to me. Let's see what we can find. Wikipedia view page. Large, real website, large. Moderately large. Okay, how much is... This is not something I probably should be doing on stream, but I'd like to try and load in a huge amount of data. If I can. I mean, we've got enough time-ish. This is very badly planned, but there we go. So, let's just do some code. What the hell? Let's just do some code, and that's good enough. So, yeah, let's do... So I'm just going to whap this in the controller because that's the way I roll. So we can say what? Collection. Let's take a look at the sample code, in fact. I'd like to see how this works. So beginning in Laravel 6, the query builder's cursor method, which is a way of iterating through... the... a collection. The cursor sits on... You can move the cursor around to read the data, essentially. Excuse me. Yeah, if you've got a link to 100,000 records, we can whack that in. I'm just conscious of the fact that nobody wants to sit here and watch MySQL import 100,000 records. But again, I can do that off stream, and we can look at it next time. But it is interesting stuff, right? So how did this... lazy collection make? So this is us making a lazy collection, right? Where we open a log file. I mean, we could do this. So what this is doing is creating a new lazy collection using the make, which is I guess not a factory, but similar to a factory. Lazy collection make. Let's take a look at the API docs. What do you mean can't find API docs? Of course you can. Creates a new collection instance if the value isn't one already. I'll pull that down while we talk. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I guess you're right. I just don't know how I can. I'll be honest. Like, let's do this anyway. Okay, it's cool. So MySQL username root. Oh, MySQL import. Oh, I tell you what we can do. PHP Storm to the rescue. In fact, we can use follow me, right? Follow me. Laravel, test connection, download driver files. Test connection, apply. Okay. Schema. Yeah, I've had this problem before with PHP Storm. I should definitely open a I should 100% open a ticket there. I've had this before. Where's properties? Why can't I? I've had it before where if you put the database name in, it actually doesn't see this. Oh, it doesn't see the schema anyway. Weird. Okay. And this is why I didn't want to import the database live on stream. Apologies. MySQL username, root, password, and then can I pipe it in? I can't even remember. We'll get that sorted for next time. Let's go back to how it works. This is the last thing we're going to do, and then I'm going to finish the stream anyway. So yeah, make is make creates a new collection instance if what isn't one already. That's fine. So then make takes items, which is an array or mixed. So in this instance, the items are going to be yielded from this function, which is part of the generator, right? So, I mean, we can do this. So this creates a collection. This is interesting to me. So this creates a collection from this log file. Like if we say the log file is if we say it's in like the resources. Sorry, this is not nice to watch, but logs. Nope, resources. No, not resources. Storage. Dope. Storage logs. Today's log file. That's at least a valid log file that it should run in. Okay, so that should create a lazy collection, right? We're not parsing it into anything, but you can use a fluid interface to do other stuff to it. But I'm interested to see what happens here. So this is terrible development as a service, but it's still interesting to see. Oh, we don't have an API key. We don't even have an API key. We should totally have an API key. We can't do anything without an API key. Why didn't our error handler... Oh, wait, it did tell us that. Okay, cool. So that has not run. Oh, because it's in the whole home controller, right? What was my password? Follow me. There we go. So yeah, this has created the collection, right? But it's essentially because it's using yield. Like if I did this as a traditional collection, this is gonna like pack out this collection with my data. Okay, I've broken something. Symfony component debug exception fatal throwable error class MySQL X dev API collection. Oh, okay, yeah. My bad. I'm not using the correct collection. That should have a make though, right? Because it should use the same trait. So this essentially is loaded in... Should load everything in, I would expect. But it's only one item in there. Any ideas? This is where chat helps me. Because this isn't the way that I've been creating collections in the past. I've been doing collection equals new collection. And then this. So I don't know what the make command does, if I'm honest. Because that's never been the way that I've created collections. But that's doing essentially exactly the same thing, right? Oh, it's because it's yielding it anyway. Dope. Yeah, they're still creating a one-line array, right? Anyway, doesn't matter. So this this would essentially load in the entire data set, right? Whereas if I'm using the lazy collection, it doesn't. I'm waffling. I'm tired. We're going to call it quits there. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a really, 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 really cool stream. We'll be streaming again definitely Friday. We might have a bonus stream between now and Friday, but that will not be looking at Vapor or the Laravel stuff. Friday's stream will be looking at a comparison between... Actually, next Tuesday's stream will be a comparison between Vapor and... a Vapor and Breath. That'll be our Try It Tuesday for next Tuesday, because I'm going to try and do these kind of looking at the new technologies and what's around, and these kind of investigatory streams on a Tuesday, and we're going to call them Try It Tuesday. And then we're going to carry on with our Codename Trapdoor, which is a deck building roguelike game. We'll carry on with that the rest of the week. So thank you all for hanging out. Massive thank you to Freak and Masal for hanging out, the authors of this fantastic new error handler. And we will see you all next time. And if you want to be notified of the next time I go live, by the way, don't forget to follow me. Follow me on Twitch and you'll get a nice email. If you click the little notification thing when you followed me, you'll get an email when I go live. And also follow me on Twitter, because I normally tweet as well when I'm going live. It's just when I'm going live, it's just there. So thank you very much and have a great rest of your Tuesday.